Today, I'm taking you on a tour of a great area in Oshawa, Vanier. It's a perfect spot to consider, especially if you're looking for your first home because of the reasonable price point to get in here. But it's also great for commuters and close to amenities. So if you're in the stages of investigating where you want to live in Oshawa, this video will help you decide whether Vanier is the right area for you. My name is Vilija Truelove. I'm a local Durham Region real estate agent, and I'd love to hear from you. If you're moving to or within the Durham region, whether you're ready to move now or 6 months from now, you can set up an appointment through my calendar link, which you'll find in the description below, or you can just send me a text or an email and we can get the process started. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. So the Vanier area, it runs from King Street in the north down to the 401 in the south, and then from the Whitby border on the west over to basically the Oshawa Creek on the east. This area has a lot of residential pockets and then also has commercial and retail areas. The Oshawa Center is located right here at Stevenson and King, and you'll also find some undeveloped land here. If you're looking for outdoor and indoor recreation, considering it's a relatively small area, there's a lot to do right here. There are some really great parks and playgrounds throughout the area. There's also walking trails. The Civic Recreation Center is also right here. You'll find a couple of amazing playgrounds, soccer fields, and running track and football stadium. And then the Civic itself has indoor turf fields as well as a great swimming pool with a diving board as well. Another fun option is the Suso pop-up location in the Oshawa Center, which is open for indoor roller skating. I'm not sure how long they'll be there, but you can check them out while they're open. You'll also have all of the shopping you need right in this area. Like I mentioned, the Oshawa Center is here. It was renovated a few years ago and has lots of great stores. For the basics like grocery stores, there's a Real Canadian Superstore right at Stevenson and Gibb, plus other restaurants and shops. And then another plaza with a Walmart and a Lowe's, plus more restaurants and stores right at Stevenson and the 401. So really everything that you need is going to be within a very short distance. For schools, there are a few public schools as well as a Catholic grade school in the area. High school will be R.S. McLaughlin, which is at Stevenson and Roslyn, or John Paramay for the Catholic school, which is at Ritson and Bloor. And then you'll also find here in the same area as the Civic Center, there's a Trent University Durham location. For commuters, you're only about 5 minutes down to the 401, so a great location for commuters. The Oshawa GO station is also just west of Stevenson, south of the 401, so you're also close to the station when you want to hop on the GO train and get into Toronto that way. And there are also plans for a GO train extension, which would put a station east of Thornton and south of Gibb and extend out to Bowmanville. I think this would be a great thing for Durham overall. So I would say one of the negatives of this area is Midtown Mall. It's an older, mostly abandoned mall, not a lot happening here. It has a Service Canada and a Service Ontario, as well as a drive test location, but I really just find this place depressing. For crime, when we look at the Durham Regional Police Crime Map, we're not seeing a lot of crime happening in the Vanier area. Now, I will say that the further east you get in this area, so closer to downtown, we see a few more instances of assault, kind of around the Midtown Mall area I was telling you about. In Oshawa, overall, you'll find that most of the assault crimes are happening downtown along Simcoe, pretty much starting around King and then heading straight down to the highway. But you can see from the map that it's not spilling out too much from this area, even though it's right beside it. Housing here is about 30% single detached and 21% semi-detached houses, so attached on one side. You've got 22% low-rise apartments and 13% high-rise. And the vast majority of houses here are older. Close to 50% were built in the 60s and 70s, and another 36% before 1960. In terms of who you'll find living here, families with kids make up 37% of households in Vanier, while couples without children make up 21%, and 32% of households are one person living alone. So a relatively even mix. The rental rate here is higher at 45%, so 55% of homes are owner-occupied. I mentioned earlier that we do have some low and high-rise buildings throughout the area, and that's going to be one of the reasons for the higher rate of rentals. Now, the real estate prices. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, one of the bonuses of this area is the price point. There aren't many areas anywhere around the GTA where you can get a 3-bedroom home for the mid 500,000s or less. And Vanier, over the last few months, there have actually been several sales of semi and smaller detached homes for this price point. They probably need some updating, but they're good sized homes on nice streets. Will they be your dream home that checks all of the boxes? Probably not. But is it a great way to get into the market with your own home and stop paying rent? Absolutely. So if you've got a budget of 600 to say 650,000 or less, you'll want to keep this area on your list. Overall, semis over the last 4 months, so since August 2024, have sold for as low as 530,000 up to the mid 700,000s, with the majority of them selling in the 600,000s. Of course, the more renovated you get, the higher the prices tend to be. But overall, these are 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes with nice sized yards. For detached homes, you will find some really low sales, as low as the mid 400s to start, though you won't see that as often, but then you'll find many options in the $500,000 and $600,000 range. Again, these homes aren't huge. They might need some renos, but again, they're in many cases a great option for a starter home. Into the 700,000 range, you'll find a really nice home. Doesn't necessarily even have to be a starter home at this point. And then we also saw a few sales in the 800,000s. If your budget is in the mid 700s, for example, you'll find some really lovely 3-bedroom, 2-bath detached brick bungalows and back splits have sold recently. Into the 800,000s might even get you a basement apartment. I think this is such a great area to consider if you're sitting there thinking your budget just isn't high enough to get you into the market. Your perfect first home might just be found here in Vanier. If you're interested in checking out some of my other area tours, these are a couple for you to watch next. And if you have any questions, you can reach out or book an appointment through my calendar link. I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching.